My name is Theo Morrison, and I'm the Executive Director of Lahaina Restoration Foundation. I've been in that position for 11 years, and prior to that I did other work in Lahaina with nonprofit community groups. So in total, it's about 28 years working directly in downtown Lahaina. What's so unique about Lahaina compared to any other place in Hawaii is that during every era of Hawaii's history, Lahaina was a dominant place. And doubly unique to that whole situation is that the history has been saved. Lahaina is a tapestry of remnants from all these different eras. The harbor was one of the reasons why Lahaina became what it did over all those eras. It's a very desirable harbor, small harbor, but very desirable, very protected. If there wasn't a harbor there, it's debatable. The whaling era wouldn't have happened here, and it's debatable whether much of the other eras would have happened here. So it was a significant part of the physical layout that made Lahaina a great place. When Kamehameha was on his way to conquer all the islands, there was like 100 canoes lined up out there. And then after that became the whaling ships were out there. And today you see the visitor boats and then the big cruise ships come in. It's like everything else in Lahaina through all eras of Lahaina's history, it's a very pivotal place. At one point in time during the plantation era, all the mail for the island of Maui came in through Lahaina from steamers. So it's always been a very good, small, but very good harbor. Originally, the area where the courthouse is located today was a fort. That entire Banyan Tree Park was surrounded by a coral block wall. It wasn't much of a fort, but it was a fort. And then as the whaling industry kind of exploded here and the problems doubly exploded, they took down the fort and used those coral blocks to build the prison. And then the courthouse was built. It became like the center of government here. So there was a post office there. The sheriff was there. There's a jail, which is now the old jail gallery. It was only in the late 1990s that it was stopped being a public building. And then the courts moved and the post office moved. Before that happened, there was discussion in the newspaper about cutting down the banyan tree to make more parking for the court. Fortunately, they decided to move the court. Well, each era was pretty unique. However, as I said, the reason Lahaina, we believe, became such an important place through all those different eras was its physical setting. And so that physical setting is still here. You know, every day is like a fabulous day, and we never get tired of that. You know, in 2011, we won one of the 10 great streets in the whole United States. You look at the street and somebody will be going by on a skateboard, and then a guy on a bicycle with a big, fish under his arm will be biking down the street to take it to a restaurant. Then you have tourists, then you have some woman with a baby stroller crossing the street. People jaywalk all the time. That's just the norm. So this whole variety of life just happens on Front Street, and it's a very active town. So like the local fishermen come out, like 3 or 4 in the morning and set up their poles along Front Street. And then the businesses open around 9 o'clock and they keep going till 10, and then they close, and then the bar scene starts happening. So it's a very amazingly dynamic town. And then at sunset, even the store clerks will be standing on their door watching the sunset at night. It's pretty amazing. Everybody just sort of stops and watches the sunset. People line the seawalls, they go line the park. So there's this whole appreciation of nature, even, it's a small little town, but it's still the dominant part of Lahaina.